What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast. We talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, as always, or not as always, I should say, special guest, Chris Abacon.
What's going on, everybody?
What's
Nice to be
going
back.
on? Yes, sir. So, welcome to 2024. So, Happy New Year, Chris, and to the audience.
Indeed, Happy New Year's. Great way to start the year with some, cybersecurity news and coverage.
Right. And it's not all doom and gloom this year, so that's also good.
Exactly.
So the kickoff this week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursday, I actually will have an interview, I believe. So look out for that. And then Fridays, everything else. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But the first topic of this week is Airbus. So Airbus is looking to acquire Atos, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, their big data business. So will be a nearly 2 billion acquisition. Right now it is preliminary and is non-binding, but it looks as though Atos's stock has um, been boosted twice, right? So December 15th because of the leak of this potential merger, and then on January 3rd when they did their market update. So it's looking as though this is good for Atos, also good for Airbus. So we know that supply chain. Um, just supply chain visibility as well as assessments and attestation, all that stuff is really big for aviation. And we know that Airbus is looking to kind of boost their business, right? Trying to secure acquisitions that make sense. So, Chris, what's your theories, your ideas, your speculation about this potential acquisition?
I think the potential acquisition's got certain, and it's got certain, not necessarily ramifications, but certain incentives behind it, specifically from the Airbus perspective, right? So, um, kind of on the US side, we're going more towards that. We're moving towards CMMC. We're moving towards these security standards that a lot of companies will start having to abide to, right? The SEC is doing this thing with financial companies. That being said, for the EU, it looks like there is an impending implementing regulation 2023 and slash 203, which is essentially another framework for aviation and managing their security risks. So this is set to take into effect in 2025 slash 2026. So I think they're definitely anticipating, the rigor, or they're just getting ahead of the potential government regulations and mandates set forth by the EU, or maybe if they fall under the United States umbrella, right? So I mean, there are a lot of supply chain risks out there. There's a lot of talk about this recent thing with Boeing, right? And now that's engineering fault, but being able to utilize big data and security. If they're a big data company, they're probably venturing into analytics as to how they can improve their processes, improve their engineering methods, utilize data points that they gather from customers, right? So there's a whole multitude of factors that can affect Airbus, right, with this. And full disclosure, I'm an Airbus fan. I've been paying attention to Airbus, orders, where uh they deliver planes to, which airplanes, right, airlines rather. So but yeah, I think this is a very good move on Airbus's part. Now the investment is quite big, right? Only they know how, that 1.65 to $2 billion is going to pan out for them, right? And that is a pretty large acquisition. That being said, I think, as we all know, that investment in cybersecurity and really in this case analytics is the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, I think they're trying to get ahead of the potential regulation that's coming down the pipe because it's going to hit all sectors, right? Just to make sure everybody's safe, make sure everybody is doing what they need to do. And we've had topics in the past where we've talked about issues where cybersecurity ransomware threats and other attacks on airframes and airline systems have taken place, right? So it's only a matter of time before the government, like you said, the UK or the US or someone steps in to ensure that they're being safe and make sure that they have that rigor behind their processes. So it's coming. So I think this acquisition is spot on and it just makes sense. Probably we'll see more of these in the future. Um, Atos is kind of new to me, but apparently their business is booming because $2 billion is nothing to sneeze at, right? That's a pretty big um, acquisition. Even in the like last year, we did have the humongous Microsoft acquisition, right? Like 70 something $billion or whatever.
Of Splunk, right? No,
When
Microsoft. That was Cisco. Cisco acquired Splunk at that point.
Right. Well, that was far less. So, like that, I
Mhm.
think, like what I'm trying to get at is like $2 billion is nothing to sneeze at, even though Microsoft's out here spending 70 billion on video game companies and things of that nature.
Mm,
Like for the most part,
that's
like the
right. That's
two
right.
billion, $3 billion range is very high. So if you have stock in Atos, like that's great for you. Like, but it's too late if you don't. Like they've already probably peaked at this point.
Yeah,
So
that ship has sailed,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Most unlikely, but no, I think you're spot on. I think it's great for Airbus, and I'm glad to have an Airbus fan on the
Airbus, go
the panel
Airbus.
to talk about it. Um, but yeah, look for this to probably be secured mid-year. I would assume like they can't be in talks forever, because somebody else will step in and probably snatch them up. So, and then also they want to stay at their peak, right? So look for this acquisition to probably take place sometime in the very near future, and then we'll probably talk more about it later in the year as we see what they actually do with Atos. So definitely continue to
Yeah,
tune in. Oh, go
yeah.
ahead, Chris.
I know it'll definitely be interesting to see, their implementation and, how they're gonna position themselves in the market,
Yeah,
saying, hey, this is how we've secured, our data and or this is how we've utilized big data to our advantage. And to me, I think that's what makes Airbus, an attractive, not just an investment prospect as an engineering company, right? It's an engineering first company. So
yeah,
it's really cool to see that, come to fruition.
yeah. They may turn themselves into a market leader, right? They might be the standard moving forward, depending on how they implement it. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, that definitely. We'll definitely cover more of this in the hopefully near future. So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion. Thursday, I hope to have I'm gonna have an interview. I just don't know if I'll have it all processed and ready to go. But we look forward to those. I have about three lined up, so they'll be sprinkled in throughout the January and February. And then Friday, everything else, so movies, books, games, all that good stuff. So definitely continue to tune in. Stay safe, stay secure.